Uniswap, right on. You can see this is gearing up for a sell position already, so had this in mind a few days ago when I looked at this. If price was to break below this zone and retest, then I mean this marker is completely out, but from what I drew before, but you can see it kind of followed what I said it would do, but it just didn't, just not completely. So, and it just created a new zone, which is nice. So we'll delete this for now. This is obviously our area of liquidity now to the upside. So price came down, and you can see it was once there before. So price came down, broke this zone, retested, and now boom, breaking lower. And there was an area here, but price is currently hammering it right through it. So see how that closes. That's going to take the whole day, well, the rest of the day, so another 10 hours for that to close. And now price is actually below this moving average as of right now. So, and it's hitting this major zone here, right at about, I think it's about 570. Yes. So here I'm going to mark that out because that is significant. $570, so that's huge. So if price breaks this 570 level, I think we're definitely going down. Price is now below this moving average, which I like. It's created a new low relative to this one, so you can see lower lows, lower highs. So this was the high, now is this one. So now it's creating a new low. So eventually it's going to create a new high, and the new high is probably going to be below this zone. So this was the liquidity zone. Now it's going to push it down and then create a new one, or just retest this one. It's most likely what is going to happen with Uniswap here. So our next real area of interest and support would be right here. Looks to be like a major one, probably about the 520 area. I'll mark it out here. $520. Like, I like finding my whole numbers, and that's just kind of where price moves. So this is going to be our first target for sure, this 520 area. Once this 570 area breaks, then it's going to be probably something like this. Gotta let this area fully break, so it probably won't be a trade today, but tomorrow we'll look for something. So something like this. Let price break this zone. You can see it's really just touching the bottom right now, but there's so much bearish momentum into the zone. I think it is going to break, and then yeah, I think once this price breaks this zone and holds, so another 10 hours from now, then you'll wait for a little bit of a pullback, and then you probably don't even need too much of a pullback, to be honest. And then yeah, target it'll be a short position down to 520. But I just want to see if there's better areas that we could target that would be more worth our risk. So, and you can actually see the overall price structure of this change, which is cool. So like on the daily here, you got higher highs, higher lows all the way up until about this point, and then it comes down. You got a lower high and now lower lows. So like the price structure literally has changed on the daily, and it's broken below its moving average. So these are all very good signs. If you look at these other time frames, price was holding above this 4 hour for a long time, and then broke, and then yeah, now is heading lower, and it's been very, very bearish since this 625 mark kind of thing. Just pushing down heavily. Got to keep in mind that this could retrace at any time, so it would be best if price breaks this area and then just pulls up and rejects this like 570 zone. But yeah, when price just goes, when a price segment moves like this, for example, where it's just all one direction, so like this is all just bears, then you just have to be mindful that at any time it can retrace, because we don't know what fair price for Uniswap is. So it came down from 625 all the way to 570 without any bulls coming in and just re-justifying the price. So you just got to watch for retracements, but I think in this situation, I think we're fine. I don't think it's moved that much to really justify the need for a retracement, but could happen. So just keep that in mind. But that's why it's a lot better if price breaks this area and just kind of solidifies more that, yeah, we are below 570. We're below this moving average. We are bearish. So that is what you want to see from Uniswap. But in order to get a better risk to reward, I just want to see. So on average, this moves. Let's see, it moved to 1.5 last month, 1.9, 0.8, 1.3. So let's see if it is 1.5 on the month, and the high of the month is 6.7-ish. Yeah, then you're looking at about 5.2. Yeah, this is possibly our monthly low at 5.2 here. So this is our first target and probably only real target of the month, especially because there is so many wicks in this area. You just know that this is pretty significant. So I think if price hits this zone, it's going to need a lot more momentum, which as soon as it hits this zone, it's probably going to pull back a bit, at least back up to like maybe 550, 560, and then before it breaks lower. So this is definitely our immediate target is 520. So all I would do, let price break this zone and then break this 570 and hold, wait for a little bit of a retest, and then you could even see, and then I would look for, once it starts retesting this zone, this 570 area, you just see where all the wicks kind of end up, and then you just make sure that your stop is above those wicks. But this is where it gets iffy, because if it pulls back at all from this segment, like if this, after moving down this much, if this pulls back at all, or it tries to retest anything, like there's an area here that hopefully after price, because it's created a new liquidity zone below this, hopefully it doesn't have to retest this one, because you just got to be mindful if you're using a stop loss. If you're not using a stop loss, you don't have to worry about this at all. But if you're setting your stop loss accordingly to like the wicks and stuff, or at least keeping it above this moving average, I mean, you should get at least a 3R, with a with a proper stop loss in this situation, at least a 3 risk to reward, which if you do something like this, you would. So that's good. I think that's fair. I wouldn't take anything less than a 3. So personally, but I think this would be fair, because like you don't want to get stopped out, but you also don't want this massive stop and then like your risk to reward is not high and your position's a lot smaller, because you have to risk a lot less money because your stop loss is so large. So that's kind of how I look at it. So you kind of want to find that happy medium and just put your stops above things that you can kind of control. So yeah, I mean, these moving averages, so the 1 hour and the 4 hour are quite a ways away. So and price is likely to try and fill these gaps, like so from current price to moving average, that price is like, that gap is generally tried to be filled. So you would want to keep like your stop above these moving averages just to be safe, but again, then your stop is massive. So it's got to really configure it at the right time and just see kind of after price breaks this zone, if it as it comes back up and rejects this zone, hopefully you can just kind of see where price is ending up, and then you can kind of dictate where you want the best place for your stop that is also the most probable to favor your trades. So it's really what it comes down to at the end. So we'll check back on this in a couple days and see. I'll check on this after today, after this candle closes, because I'm curious to see where price ends up. But yeah, that's my take on Uniswap. You're looking for a short position, but just let it break 570 and then retest it a little bit. If it breaks all the way through it, then like back up, then that invalidates the trade. But if it breaks this 570 and basically holds and just retests it a little bit, comes back up like 0.1, then you're probably good to go, as long as it rejects. And then you're shooting for 520, which would be the monthly range. It's about $1.50. So the top of the month is about 670 here, and the bottom is 520. So that is its normal monthly range. So this is a very reasonable trade. to have executed by the end of the month, which is right here, September. So very, very reasonable, very fair. I think everything's aligning. The structure's there. It's making new lows, new lower highs. So that is Uniswap.